Hello, my beautiful friend. I'm so grateful you're here with me today, and I want you to know that your presence in this moment is not an accident. You've been guided to this space this time because your soul is ready for something magnificent. Take a gentle breath with me right now and allow yourself to settle into this sacred moment we're sharing together. I know you've been searching. I know you've been trying so many different things, reading books, watching videos, maybe even attending workshops, all in the hope of finding that missing piece that will finally bring you the health, wealth, and happiness you deserve. And perhaps you felt frustrated at times, wondering why some things work for others but not for you, or why the changes you experience seem to fade away just when you think you've got it figured out. Let me tell you something with all the love in my heart. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You are not broken, you are not behind, and you are certainly not doing anything wrong. What I'm about to share with you today has the power to change everything, and it's been right there within you all along. It's something so simple, so natural, that we often overlook it in our search for complicated solutions. Today, we're going to talk about feeling. Not just any kind of feeling, but a very specific way of feeling that acts like a magnetic force in your life. This isn't about positive thinking or forcing yourself to be happy when you don't feel happy. This is about understanding that your feelings are actually the most powerful creative force you possess, and when you learn to work with them consciously, magic begins to happen. I want you to know that wherever you are right now in your life, whatever challenges you're facing, whatever dreams you're holding close to your heart, you have within you the ability to transform it all. The beautiful thing about feelings is that they don't require you to have a perfect life to access them. They don't require you to have money in the bank or a clean bill of health or a perfect relationship. Feelings are available to you right now, in this very moment, regardless of your circumstances. As we begin this journey together, I invite you to release any pressure you might be putting on yourself to get this right or to change everything overnight. Transformation happens in the most gentle, loving way when we allow it to unfold naturally. Think of yourself as a tender garden, and what we're doing today is learning how to water that garden with the most nourishing feelings so that everything you desire can bloom in its perfect time. The secret I'm about to share with you has been whispered through the ages by those who understood the true nature of creation. It's been taught in temples and passed down through generations, but somehow in our modern world, we've forgotten this ancient wisdom. Today, we're going to remember together, and as we do, you're going to feel a deep recognition in your heart because this truth has always lived within you. Your feelings are not just random emotional responses to what happens to you. They are powerful vibrations that communicate directly with the universe about what you're ready to receive. When you truly understand this, when you really feel it in your bones, everything changes. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming a conscious creator of your experience. I know this might sound too simple or maybe even too good to be true, but I promise you, the simplest truths are often the most powerful ones. And as we continue together today, you're going to discover just how true this is. You're going to learn exactly how to feel your way into the health, wealth, and happiness that is your birthright. Now let's explore what makes feelings so incredibly powerful in creating our reality. Most people think that thoughts create our experience, and while thoughts are important, they're actually the second step in the creation process. Feelings come first. Feelings are the language that the universe understands most clearly. Think of it this way. Every feeling you have carries a specific vibration, just like a radio station broadcasts on a specific frequency. When you tune your radio to 101.5 FM, you get that particular station's music and programs. When you tune your emotional frequency to love, gratitude, peace, or joy, you start receiving experiences that match those frequencies. When you're broadcasting fear, worry, or anger, you'll receive experiences that match those frequencies instead. This isn't about judgment or making any feeling wrong. Every feeling you have is valid and serves a purpose. But when we understand how feelings work as creative forces, we can begin to choose our emotional frequencies more consciously. We can start to ask ourselves, what am I broadcasting right now? And is this what I want to receive more of in my life? The beautiful thing about feelings is that they exist in the present moment. You can't feel yesterday's joy or tomorrow's peace. You can only feel what's happening right now. And this is where your power lies. In this very moment, you have the ability to shift your feeling state, and when you do, you immediately begin broadcasting a different signal to the universe. This is different from the temporary emotions that come and go throughout your day. I'm talking about the deeper feeling states that you can cultivate and maintain. These are the feelings that become your emotional home base, the place you return to again and again. When love becomes your home base instead of fear, when gratitude becomes your home base instead of lack, when peace becomes your home base instead of anxiety, your entire life begins to reorganize itself around these higher frequencies. The universe doesn't respond to your words or even your thoughts as much as it responds to what you're feeling. You can say affirmations all day long, but if you're feeling unworthy while you're saying them, the universe receives the message of unworthiness. This is why some people work so hard on their mindset, but don't see the changes they're hoping for. They're trying to think their way into a new reality without including their feelings in the process. But here's the wonderful news. Once you understand how to work with your feelings consciously, everything becomes easier. Instead of struggling against unwanted circumstances, you begin to dissolve them by shifting the feeling frequency that created them in the first place. Instead of chasing after what you want, you begin to attract it by embodying the feelings of already having it. This is the difference between trying to get something from a place of lack and receiving something from a place of wholeness. When you feel abundant, you attract abundance. When you feel loved, you attract love. When you feel healthy and vital, you attract experiences that support your well-being. It's not magic in the sense of waving a wand and having everything appear instantly, but it is a natural law that works as consistently as gravity. Your feelings are always communicating something to your body, and your body is always listening. Every cell in your body is affected by the emotional environment you create through your feelings. When you feel stressed, your body produces stress chemicals. When you feel peaceful, your body produces healing chemicals. When you feel grateful, your body responds with increased vitality and stronger immune function. This connection between your feelings and your physical health is not some new age concept. It's been proven by science over and over again. Your emotions directly influence your nervous system, your immune system, your cardiovascular system, and every other system in your body. What this means is that every time you choose a feeling of love over fear, peace over anxiety, or gratitude over complaint, you're literally giving your body a dose of healing medicine. Your body doesn't know the difference between something that's actually happening and something you're feeling as if it's happening. When you feel grateful for your health, your body responds as if there are wonderful things to be grateful for. When you feel peaceful and safe, your body relaxes and begins its natural healing processes. When you feel vibrant and alive, your body starts producing the chemistry of vitality. This is why two people can have the same diagnosis but completely different outcomes. It's why some people heal against all odds while others struggle despite having access to the best medical care. The difference often lies in the emotional environment they're creating within their bodies through their dominant feeling states. But this doesn't mean you should judge yourself if you're dealing with health challenges or feel guilty about being sick. Healing happens when we approach ourselves with infinite compassion and gentleness. Your body has been carrying you through life, working tirelessly to support you, and it deserves your love and appreciation regardless of its current condition. What we're talking about here is giving your body the best possible emotional environment for healing and thriving. Just as you might choose nutritious foods to nourish your body, you can choose nourishing feelings to support your body's natural wisdom. Your body wants to be healthy. It's designed to heal itself when given the right conditions, and the feelings you cultivate are some of the most powerful conditions you can provide. When you feel appreciation for your body, even if it's not perfect, you create an environment where healing can flourish. When you feel grateful for all the ways your body serves you, from your heart beating to your lungs, breathing to your eyes seeing, you flood your system with healing energy. When you feel peaceful and relaxed, you allow your body's natural repair mechanisms to work without interference from stress chemicals. This doesn't mean ignoring physical symptoms or avoiding medical care when needed. It means partnering with your body in the most loving way possible, supporting whatever healing journey you're on with the most nurturing feelings you can access. Your body is your closest companion in this life, and when you treat it with the love and respect it deserves, miraculous things can happen. Now let's talk about something that might bring up feelings of discomfort for many of you, and that's the relationship between your feelings and your financial abundance. I know that money can be such a tender topic, filled with so much old programming and inherited beliefs about what we deserve and what's possible for us. But I want you to know that prosperity is your natural state, just as health and happiness are. Most people approach money from a place of need, fear, or unworthiness, and then wonder why abundance seems to slip through their fingers. They work harder and harder, trying to earn their way to prosperity, but they're broadcasting a frequency of struggle and lack. The universe can only respond to what you're feeling, not what you're working toward or hoping for. The secret to financial abundance lies not in doing more, but in feeling worthy of receiving. When you feel truly deserving of abundance, when you feel prosperous from the inside out, opportunities begin to appear, ideas start flowing, and the right people and circumstances align to support your financial well-being. This isn't about being irresponsible with money or living in fantasy. It's about changing the emotional foundation from which you relate to abundance. Many people carry deep feelings of unworthiness around money, often inherited from their families or absorbed from society. They might feel that wanting money is selfish, that they don't deserve to have more than others, or that abundance somehow comes at the expense of someone else. These feelings create an invisible barrier that repels the very prosperity they're working so hard to create. But abundance is not a limited resource that gets used up when one person has it. Love doesn't run out when you give it away, and prosperity doesn't diminish when it flows to you. The universe is infinitely abundant, and there's more than enough for everyone to live comfortably and generously. When you feel prosperous, you actually create more prosperity for others by raising the vibration of abundance on the planet. The feeling of prosperity begins with gratitude for what you already have. When you look around your life and genuinely appreciate the abundance that's already present, even if it's not in the form of money, you begin to tune into the frequency of abundance. You might feel grateful for the roof over your head, the food in your refrigerator, the clothes in your closet, or the relationships in your life. Every moment of genuine appreciation for what you have creates more to be grateful for. But this isn't about pretending you don't have financial challenges or forcing yourself to feel grateful when you're worried about paying bills. it's about expanding your awareness to include all the forms of abundance that already exist in your life while also honoring your desire for greater financial ease. You can feel both grateful for what you have and excited about what's coming to you. The feeling of worthiness is perhaps the most important feeling to cultivate when it comes to money. So many people believe they have to earn their worthiness through hard work, sacrifice, or suffering. But worthiness isn't something you earn, it's something you are. You were born worthy of love, of joy, of peace, and of abundance. Your worthiness doesn't depend on your bank account, your job title, or your achievements. It's an inherent part of who you are. When you begin to feel truly worthy of abundance, something beautiful happens. You stop accepting less than you deserve. You stop undercharging for your services or undervaluing your contributions. You stop settling for jobs that drain your energy or relationships that don't honor your worth. You begin to make choices from a place of knowing your value, and the universe responds by reflecting that value back to you in tangible ways. The feeling of prosperity also includes feeling generous and abundant toward others. When you feel genuinely prosperous, you naturally want to share, to give, to contribute. This isn't about giving away money you don't have, but about cultivating the feeling of having enough to share. You might share a smile, a compliment, your time, or your attention. You might tip a little extra when you can afford it or donate to a cause you care about. This feeling of being able to give creates a flow of abundance that comes back to you multiplied. Money is simply energy, and like all energy, it flows toward those who appreciate it and welcome it. When you feel anxious, fearful, or resentful about money, you're pushing it away. When you feel grateful, worthy, and generous, you're inviting it to flow into your life. This doesn't mean you shouldn't be practical about money or that you should ignore financial responsibilities. It means approaching money from a place of love rather than fear. Let's move into something that might surprise you about happiness. Most people think happiness is something they need to achieve, something that will come to them when their circumstances change or when they finally get what they want. But happiness isn't a destination you arrive at after climbing the mountain of success. Happiness is the mountain itself. It's the foundation from which you create everything else in your life. You were born happy. Watch any baby or young child, and you'll see that joy is their natural state. They don't need a reason to laugh or smile or feel delighted by the world around them. Somewhere along the way, most people learn to postpone their happiness, to make it conditional on external circumstances. They tell themselves they'll be happy when they lose weight, when they find love, when they get the promotion, or when they retire. But happiness that depends on circumstances is fragile and temporary. The kind of happiness I'm talking about is unshakable because it comes from within. It's the happiness that exists simply because you're alive, because you're breathing, because you're part of this magnificent universe. This happiness doesn't need a reason, and it can't be taken away by changing circumstances. The beautiful thing about choosing happiness as your foundation is that it makes everything else in your life better. When you feel genuinely happy, you make better decisions. You're more creative, more intuitive, more attractive to others. You have more energy, better health, and clearer thinking. Happiness isn't just a nice feeling to have. It's the most practical thing you can cultivate if you want to create a wonderful life. But this doesn't mean forcing yourself to be happy when you don't feel happy or pretending that difficult emotions don't exist. True happiness includes the full range of human experience. It's the deep contentment and peace that can exist even when you're going through challenging times. It's the knowing that no matter what happens, your essential happiness cannot be touched. Small shifts in your daily feeling habits can create profound changes in your overall happiness levels. Instead of waiting for something good to happen to feel happy, you can choose to feel happy and then notice how many good things start happening. Instead of focusing on what's missing from your life, you can focus on what's wonderful about this moment right now. Happiness is contagious. When you feel genuinely happy, you give others permission to feel happy too. You become a beacon of light in a world that sometimes feels dark. You contribute to the collective happiness of humanity simply by being authentically joyful. This is one of the greatest gifts you can give to the world. The ripple effect of your happiness extends far beyond what you can see. When you feel happy, you treat others with more kindness and patience. When you feel joyful, you make different choices about how to spend your time and energy. When you feel content, you stop looking for happiness in places where it can't be found, like material possessions or other people's approval. Now, I want to share with you a simple but powerful method for transforming your feeling state in just a few minutes. This is something you can do anytime, anywhere, whenever you notice you're feeling stuck in a lower vibration and want to shift into something higher. The first step is to simply notice what you're feeling without judging it. Place your hand on your heart and take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? You might notice anxiety, sadness, frustration, or fear. Whatever it is, acknowledge it with kindness. Say to yourself, it's okay that I'm feeling this way. This feeling is temporary, and I have the power to shift it. The second step is to ask yourself what you would like to feel instead. Not what you think you should feel, but what would genuinely feel better right now. Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's hope, maybe it's love, or maybe it's simply relief. Choose a feeling that feels reachable from where you are now. If you're feeling deep despair, you probably can't jump directly to ecstatic joy, but you might be able to reach for a little bit of peace or comfort. The third step is to find something, anything, that can help you access that desired feeling. It might be a memory of someone you love, a moment in nature that touched your heart, or simply the feeling of air filling your lungs. It might be imagining yourself surrounded by golden light, or remembering a time when you felt exactly the way you want to feel now. The key is to find something that genuinely shifts your emotional state, even slightly. As you focus on whatever helps you access this better feeling, breathe deeply and allow the feeling to expand in your body. Notice where you feel it. Maybe it's a warmth in your chest, a relaxation in your shoulders, or a softness in your belly. Stay with this feeling for at least 3 full minutes, breathing it in and letting it fill every cell of your body. The final step is to set an intention to carry this feeling with you as you continue with your day. You don't need to maintain it perfectly, but you can return to it whenever you remember. You can anchor this feeling by touching your heart and taking a deep breath, creating a simple way to access it again whenever you need it. This simple practice can transform your entire day. When you shift your feeling state, you shift what you're attracting into your life. You shift how you show up in your relationships, how you approach your work, and how you move through the world. 3 minutes of conscious feeling cultivation can create hours of positive momentum in your life. Creating consistent daily practices around your feelings is like tending a beautiful garden. Just as you wouldn't plant seeds and then forget about them, you can't expect transformation without nurturing the feeling states that support your dreams. The wonderful thing about daily feeling practices is that they don't require hours of your time or complicated techniques. They simply require your gentle, loving attention throughout the day. Let's start with how you begin each morning, because the way you start your day sets the emotional tone for everything that follows. Before you even get out of bed, before you check your phone or think about your to-do list, take a few moments to consciously choose how you want to feel today. Place your hands on your heart and ask yourself, How do I want to feel as I move through this day? Maybe you want to feel peaceful. Maybe you want to feel energized, or maybe you want to feel loved and supported. Whatever feeling calls to you, breathe it into your heart and imagine it spreading throughout your entire body. This isn't about forcing a feeling that isn't there, but about gently inviting in the emotional qualities that will serve you best today. As you get ready for your day, continue to nurture this chosen feeling. While you're brushing your teeth, you might feel grateful for your body and all the ways it serves you. While you're getting dressed, you might appreciate the abundance of having clothes to choose from. While you're preparing breakfast, you might feel thankful for the nourishment available to you. These small moments of appreciation create a foundation of positive feelings that will support you throughout the day. During your morning routine, you can also practice what I call feeling forward. This is where you imagine how you want to feel at the end of the day and let that desired feeling guide your choices. If you want to feel accomplished and peaceful by evening, you might choose to approach your tasks with calm focus rather than anxious rushing. If you want to feel connected and loved, you might decide to reach out to someone you care about or to treat yourself with extra kindness. As you move through the middle of your day, life will inevitably present you with challenges, frustrations, and unexpected situations. This is when your midday emotional check-ins become so valuable. Several times throughout the day, simply pause and ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? And is this serving me? If you notice you've slipped into worry, stress, or negativity, don't judge yourself. Simply acknowledge what you're feeling and then choose to shift, even slightly, towards something that feels better. You might take 3 deep breaths and remember something you're grateful for. You might step outside for a moment and feel the sunshine on your face. You might simply soften your shoulders and remind yourself that you're doing the best you can. These midday adjustments are like course corrections on a journey. If you're driving somewhere and realize you've taken a wrong turn, you don't abandon the trip or judge yourself harshly. You simply adjust your route and continue toward your destination. Your feelings work the same way. When you notice you've drifted into emotional territory that doesn't feel good, you can gently redirect yourself toward feelings that support your well-being. The beauty of these small adjustments is that they prevent negative feelings from building momentum throughout the day. Instead of carrying stress from morning into afternoon and then into evening, you release it as it comes up. This keeps your emotional energy clean and fresh, allowing you to show up fully for whatever your day brings. Your evening practice is equally important because it helps you process the day's experiences and set the stage for restorative sleep and positive dreams. Before you go to bed, take a few minutes to reflect on your day with appreciation and gratitude. Think about the things that went well, the moments of joy or peace you experienced, and the people who brought love into your day. Even if your day was challenging, you can always find something to appreciate. Maybe you're grateful for your resilience in handling difficulties, or for the lesson you learned, or simply for making it through another day. This evening gratitude practice helps you end each day on a positive note, regardless of what happened during the day. As you're falling asleep, you can also plant seeds for the next day by imagining how you want to feel when you wake up. This gentle intention setting helps your subconscious mind work on your behalf while you sleep, preparing you to wake up in alignment with your desired emotional state. Now, let's talk honestly about the times when feeling good seems impossible. There will be days when grief, fear, anger, or despair feel overwhelming, and no amount of positive thinking seems to help. These are the moments when gentle self-compassion becomes your greatest tool, not resistance or judgment of what you're feeling. The most important thing to understand about difficult emotions is that they're not your enemies. They're messengers, bringing you information about what needs attention in your life. When you try to push them away or pretend they don't exist, they often get louder and more persistent. But when you meet them with kindness and curiosity, they can transform into wisdom and strength. If you're feeling afraid, you can acknowledge the fear without letting it control your choices. You might say to yourself, "I notice I'm feeling afraid right now, and that's okay. Fear is trying to protect me, but I don't have to let it make my decisions." You can feel the fear fully while still choosing to take loving action on your own behalf. When you're feeling angry, you can honor that anger as information about your boundaries or values. Anger often shows up when something important to you has been violated or threatened. Instead of judging your anger as bad or wrong, you can thank it for the information it's providing and then choose how to respond from a place of empowerment rather than reactivity. Sadness and grief are some of the most transformative emotions you can experience, even though they're painful. They often signal that you're letting go of something that no longer serves you, making space for something new and beautiful to enter your life. You can feel sad while also trusting that this sadness is part of a larger healing process. The practice of emotional alchemy involves feeling your difficult emotions fully while also holding space for the possibility of transformation. You're not trying to skip over the pain or rush through it. You're allowing it to move through you while maintaining your connection to love, hope, and faith in your own resilience. Self-compassion during challenging times means treating yourself the way you would treat a beloved friend who was going through the same experience. You wouldn't tell a friend to just think positive thoughts if they were grieving a loss or facing a serious challenge. You would offer them comfort, understanding, and gentle support. You can offer yourself this same kindness. Living from your heart center means making your emotional well-being a priority, not something you attend to only when you have time or when everything else is handled. It means recognizing that your feelings are the foundation of everything else in your life, and that taking care of your emotional state is one of the most practical and important things you can do. Throughout your daily life, you can stay connected to your heart by pausing regularly to check in with yourself. While you're working, you can ask yourself if you're approaching your tasks with love or with stress. While you're interacting with others, you can notice if you're coming from a place of openness or defensiveness. While you're making decisions, you can consider which choice would honor your heart's wisdom. Building emotional resilience doesn't mean never feeling difficult emotions. It means developing the capacity to feel whatever comes up while maintaining your connection to love, peace, and hope. It means knowing that no feeling, however intense, is permanent, and that you have the strength to weather any emotional storm. The continuous flow of positive feelings happens naturally when you stop forcing and start allowing. When you try too hard to feel good all the time, you create resistance that actually blocks the natural flow of positive emotions. But when you allow yourself to feel whatever is present while gently guiding yourself toward what feels better, you create space for authentic joy, peace, and love to emerge. This doesn't mean being passive about your emotional life. It means being actively engaged in creating the most loving emotional environment possible, while also accepting that some days will be easier than others. It means celebrating the moments of pure joy and peace, while also honoring the times when life asks you to feel more challenging emotions. The key is consistency, not perfection. You don't need to feel wonderful every moment of every day to create positive changes in your life. You just need to keep returning to love, to gratitude, to hope, and to compassion for yourself and others. Each time you choose a feeling that supports your well-being, you're building emotional momentum that carries you forward. As we reach the end of our time together today, I want you to know how proud I am of you for being here, for being open to this information, and for caring enough about your own well-being to invest this time in learning about the power of your feelings. You've taken an important step today, and I want you to honor yourself for that. The journey of conscious feeling cultivation is not about becoming perfect or never having another difficult day. It's about remembering that you have more power than you might have realized, and that this power lies not in controlling your circumstances, but in choosing how you respond to them emotionally. Every moment gives you a fresh opportunity to choose love over fear, gratitude over complaint, hope over despair. I invite you to be patient and gentle with yourself as you begin to implement these practices in your daily life. Change happens gradually, like the sunrise that slowly brightens the sky until suddenly the whole world is illuminated. Trust that every small shift you make in your feeling states is creating ripples of positive change throughout your entire life. Remember that you deserve to feel good. You deserve to experience health, wealth, and happiness, not because of what you've accomplished or how hard you've worked, but simply because you exist. Your worthiness is not something you need to earn. It's something you are, and it's something you've always been. Start where you are, with whatever you're feeling right now. There's no need to wait until you have more time, more knowledge, or better circumstances. The power to transform your life through your feelings is available to you in this very moment. All you need to do is begin. Feel the love that surrounds you always. Feel the infinite possibilities that exist within you, and feel the deep peace that comes from knowing you are exactly where you need to be on your journey. Trust the process. Trust yourself. And trust that the universe is conspiring to bring you everything your heart desires. You are so loved, so supported, and so capable of creating the beautiful life you dream of. The feeling of that truth is where your transformation begins. And so it is.